What's up guys, my name is Ace Cosplay and today I'm going to show you how I made my GTA 5 owl mask for my Vanoss Gaming Cosplay. So to start off with, I did a basic template for the front of the face on a few sheets of A4 paper that I stuck together. So I just did the shape for one side of the face, then folded the paper over and then cut it out so the shape was even on both sides. I did tweak the bit in the middle a little bit after I cut it out, so this was the shape I ended up with. I then transferred it onto some EVA floor foam matting. I managed to find some of this at my local branch of Halfords, but if you can't find any in a store near you, then you can easily get this stuff online. It's pretty cheap and you get usually a pack of 4 or a pack of 6. You can easily cut this stuff out just using a sharp Stanley blade, so you can get some smooth edges that don't need a lot of sanding if you're doing things like armor builds with this kind of material. Then, using a hairdryer, I heated it up so I could bend the foam into a slightly curved shape. It's a lot better to use a heat gun for this kind of material, but I didn't have one to hand at the time. So you just heat it up, bend it, heat it up, bend it till you're happy with the shape. I just then added some more foam on the bottom there, as you can see, that just thickens up the bottom line of the jaw. Then I worked out doing some face detailing, so by eye I just drew out a shape for one side of the face on some foam, that's for the bags of the eyes, like the eyebrows, and once I was happy with the shape on that side, I then transferred those onto some more foam, so I had matching shapes for both sides of the face. So this is the basic shape of the face put together, not glued down yet because now you need to sand it, so I sanded it with my Dremel. It's quite a messy process, but it's really good to work with, so I sanded it all down so there's no square edges. Then after all the bits are sanded, I then glued them onto the face and then started sanding away at the face so all the lines matched up and I could get the curvature of the jaw that I wanted, and then filled in all the gaps between the pieces with some more hot glue. Now working on the main shape of the head, this is for the top front part. I just cut out a triangle and again I smoothed out some of the edges so it wasn't quite so square at the top, and then just made sure it curved before adding some strips of foam all the way down from the front to the back, so you've got your outline and you can start filling it in with some thinner foam pieces. It takes a little while to do it this way, but it's the easiest way to get it done and it gets a good curvature that you want. This is the front jaw piece. It's just 2 strips of EVA stuck together into a triangle shape. Will be rounded out later, but then it gives me an idea of how big to make the beak, which is made using 5mm craft foam. Again, just 2 pieces stuck together with some cutouts on the side in order to get it to fit to that nice concave shape, and you can do this for the top, beak and the bottom. These are templates for the feathers on the top of the head. These are done using EVA floor foam matting again. Some of the front ones are thinner than the top ones, so I just sanded them all down and gave them shape with the Dremel tool again. You don't have to be incredibly neat because once all these are done and stuck on, you will be covering it with some fabric. So this is putting it all together now. So you can see the rounded jaw going in there with some hot glue and starting to work the feathers on the top. So you can see these ones thicker on the outside than they are on the inside, and as you go up to the top of the head they're all layered on top of each other and get thicker as they go, which is why it's best to do these all separately rather than in one piece. This is the fabric I had. This is a really nice thick canvas fabric, not the easiest to work with around the edges. But then to stick it on, I did it all in separate parts. So the front of the face, then the back, the tops of the head, the feathers, and the beak. So I put the hot glue in all the crevices, stretched out the fabric, and then pushed it in all the crevices with the glue so it all stuck. The tops of the feathers had to be done separately with separate pieces of fabric. Now we move on to the extra feather detailing, done with 5mm craft foam again, and covered with the same fabric. So just cut out a little bit around the edge, and glue it all on in little segments, as you can see here. And now we've got some eye holes cut out the front, so I can see where I'm going. And you can see some of the feather detailing, that's all done with the thinner craft foam at the back, all done in separate layers. There's some ribbon up the middle, that was just to hide some of the hot glue, but then I replaced it with a little bit more fabric. And there's some feather detailing on the top of the head there as well that you can see. On the inside we've got some upholstery foam. You can just use normal sponge to help it sit on your head a bit better, and you can see more fabric on the inside so you can't see the EVA foam when you're moving your head. Now the fun part, this is the painting. So as you can see, I just did a base colour of brown just over the whole thing, and then when it was dry I went over it doing all the highlights. I just used normal acrylic paint for this, you don't need anything fancy. You just practice with sort of merging the colours together, just going from dark to light. It just helps give that mask a lot more character and a lot more depth to it. So you can see here I'm just working in some of the shadows around the feathers on the back, and there's a difference between just the base colour and then having highlights. Again, there's a little bit more shadow going on at the front, so you can kind of see how it works a bit more, just mixing dark to light. Also the feathers on the top of the head are quite dark but do have some highlights on them. Again, just play about with what you want painting wise. These are the lenses. They're made using a cooking splatter screen, so they're mesh. They're done with 3 layers, so I can still see out, but it's harder to see in. There you can see the visibility through there, and they're made into a dome shape, then sprayed with white, and then sprayed a little bit with yellow. If you get bits of paint on there, like you can see that all bunch up, you can poke that out with a toothpick. And then to get the eyelids, I just used the same craft foam with the fabric, glued it onto the mask, and then just painted on with acrylic paint some of the pupils and did a little bit more highlight work around the edge of the eyes. Then to protect the mask from some water damage, I used some universal protector, sprayed it on outside because it does smell. There you go, this is the completed owl mask. It's not the most perfect build, but I'm actually quite impressed with how it's come out, considering I had no idea how this was going to look. It's a comfortable enough fit. I've got enough visibility in it as well, but because there's no eye holes down the front here, it's very hard to see directly forward. So if anybody wants to copy this design or use it for anything else, then I'm sure you can modify it. That is pretty much it. Hopefully you'll see me and my friends doing our duo of Vanoss and H20 Delirious at a convention soon, because we are big fans of those YouTubers. And if you guys want to see me play some Grand Theft Auto, I've got a couple of videos up on my second channel, H20 Cosplay. So if you want to go see some of that, head over there. There will be more videos coming on that channel soon. It's still quite new, but that's going to be mainly for video games, vlogs, and any other random things that I don't think fit well onto this channel. But until then guys, I think I'll go wear this out. I mean, it's not like I'm going to do any heists or anything with it. I'm just gonna go for a stroll. No big deal. Just ignore that. I mean, I guess I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you around.